quantum computing is a bit of a meme, unfortunately. I would love for it to not be a meme. For security, I mean, I do my own security. I am the security. I'm the bodyguard. I don't know, if you want to go all in on something, go ahead. It's usually a bad idea. I can milli rock on any block, as one philosopher once said. What's up, Shakira? The Illuminati, I try not to. Venture's not my thing. There are people that are good at that. I mean, investing makes sense to me. I can do any kind of investing, but typically venture doesn't have the properties that I tend to look for. Security needs security, and they have their own security, private security for the security. I like PE a lot more. Yeah, quantum computing cannot do anything useful right now, and it won't be able to do anything useful in at least 5 years. I think the people who fund quantum computing may get tired or bored of lack of progress. And so we're 20 years away from quantum computing if the motivation stays there, or the funding stays there, which is a big if. It may not stay there. AI had the same problem. People were like, artificial intelligence, it's going to take over. And people are like, yeah, that sounds great, let me invest. And they invested, and they're like, so where's the AI? And they're like, we need to do more work. And the investor's like, okay, I'll keep investing. And then a couple years later, they're like, so where is it? And the AI people are like, yeah, well, we're going to need more time. And then the quantum computer people are like, okay, we need more money. And the investor's like, yeah, maybe find somebody else. And then there's a winter, and there's no progress, because in the winter, there's very few people who can even make progress. Some theoretical progress happens. So then it's 20 years assuming that, but usually the winters add another 2x, 3x that number. So sucks. Technology can suck like that, Sorry, Ugja, no $20 subscriptions anymore. No, HUMA could come out with news tonight. We have no idea. You would think that the FDA would give HUMA news by the end of the year. But my favorite thing is when people say financial advice. Is that financial advice? Like, yeah, it is. What do you think it is? What does it sound like to you? No, I'm short. HUMA common stock. Yeah, they don't understand the law at all. Yeah, unless you're a registered advisor. Maybe, Darren, maybe. I'm up like 10x on this account, but it's just been a YOLO account. Oh yeah, Keros could work. I like that CEO. He did Acceleron, right? Oh wow. Yeah, I always like these guys. Oh, they have edema. Why are they doing hypertension? PAH. Oh, that's terrible. I doubt it's going to be a huge problem. I bet you could buy KROS on this dip. It's not quite a dip. On the cliff jump. I like these dudes. I like the CEO a lot. A couple of hedge fund hotel. Check into the hedge fund hotel. Heartbreak Hotel. A lot of people's years and ended with some losses here. But it was mostly Fidelity. Alkeon. That's a tough break. Darwin. I don't even know who Darwin is. Abhishek Taran. Oh, he's a D.E. Shaw. D.E. Shaw didn't do much in biotech. It's a big loss for Keros. They just dropped 5% for the year. You buy a stock, you're down 80% to your top position, you're done. Don't even talk to the boss. You're done. I would just walk out the door. I wouldn't even say goodbye. My favorite is this is one of my favorite memes of all time. You might as well just dip. Imagine working for Steve Cohen and just dropping him $100 million L Christmas gift. Don't even say goodbye. Don't ask for your bonus. Don't ask for your remaining compensation. Just Bruce, it doesn't matter how much money you have. The stock ideas are the same. It wouldn't make a difference if you had 5,000, 50,000, 50 million. It's all the same. If you don't get a special stock pick for a certain amount of money. Oh, you got that much money. Let me go to the top shelf. Hold on. Let me go back to the back safe to get you the best stock pick. I got the HUMAcyte reserve. It's been there for 20 years. Hold on. Let me get the bottle. I don't know, BioInvestor. Actually, we need a good long. I've heard a good cash out. I think Kramer kind of did it to himself to some extent, but it's just hard. Like, the world is a weird place, man. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good portfolio right there. I like all those stocks too. Not like I'm an expert on all those stocks, but you have a lot of growth. You know, you might want to try some value too. You're basically long all growth, so if the market takes a dump, you don't really have any surprise longs, you know? Maybe Intel, I don't know. But yeah, we'll find you one really good biotech. Actually, RZLT, it's got to be at least 100 million. And I don't think Bloomberg would buy us. I think it would be like S&P Global or Moody's or NASDAQ or ICE or one of those guys. We have a lot of revenue. I mean, listen, for the right price, selling is always a good idea. Take a W. But, you know, I'm having fun, and, you know, I would sell a strategic stake, like 10% or something to Robinhood, 10% to NASDAQ or something like that. So we have a partner or something like that. I don't know. I got to get the Copenhagen market up on Godel. I used to love trading Copenhagen. Q-tip, the front end is, for almost every site is, of course, JavaScript. And we're using one of the popular libraries called React. Back end is Java and Python mostly. Was I bearish on crypto a month ago? Not too heavy. When is Godel going to be better than Bloomberg? Do you want to know what year? It's going to take a while. We'll have some better features very soon, but in completeness, it's going to take a while. Oscar, that's funny. Yeah, quantum computing is not getting there fast enough for me to hack all the Bitcoin. Oh well. HUMAcyte's never going to get this answer from FDA. Joe Biden pardons 39 criminals. What about me? What about me? No, HUMA has an FDA decision imminently. They will get an answer in the next... I mean, no, I know the FDA fairly well. You never say never. We don't know for sure. But the FDA will get back to them before holidays. Most likely by the 15th. And she looked shook on the call when I addressed her. I mean, I could be wrong. They could get approval, right? They could get approval. Yeah, Sarek, you're right. You know, if the CRL isn't disaster, it could stay flat. But it's still overvalued. I did see Kramer Trump. Kramer's a pretty dedicated Democrat. Editas is like the CRISPR company that can never do well. It depends, Steven, on what the CRL or whatever it is looks like. Well, you got to balance at midnight. You can't be all short. You can't be all long. Short-term options plays. Jeez, I don't know. Long Palantir, maybe? AI drug discovery is definitely not a thing. This is so fake. Yeah, IBRXs. I'm starting to wonder about it, NVIDIA, actually. But I think they'll be okay. Chicken guys, I talk about that on Godel. I'm still building a position, or I talk about it here. But I just don't, while I'm still building the position, I don't really want to talk about it too much. Isomorphic is privately held company, right? AI biopharma. I'm sort of bearish on the idea. All these folks learned the hard way that AI doesn't really help drug discovery very much. Sort of, Charlie, yeah. I'm still building my position, so I don't want to disclose it to anybody, but the chat on Godel is actually free, so it's not really paywalled. B-maps like heat maps. Value investing can work, but what is value investing is another subject. In vivo can be done with compute? I don't know about that one. Hard to simulate a mouse in a computer. 𝗖𝗎 might finally have its day 20 years later. Talk to Mercer, but I try not to talk about who I know and don't know, or who I talk to and don't talk. It's very, very hard to simulate it's hard to simulate a couple of atoms, let alone an entire organism. I know the state of the art in pharmaceuticals. Nobody's doing in vivo work in computers, and certainly the FDA is not letting you do it. Yeah, it is a little bearish, Josh. I wouldn't read 100% into it, but it is a little bearish. I don't even know what Medexus is. What is that? Is that publicly traded? Never heard of it. My full-time job is the CEO of DL Software, which makes Godel. I don't have anything to do with Pfizer. I think the SEC isn't corrupt. It's just got this very negative attitude. Do I get sick of this? No, I love doing this. I don't know about, any specific move before year end. I mean, it's very hard to time any stock move. Man, AbbVie really generated a soft landing for super impressive. I am mostly short right now. That just happens to be the opportunities I see. I actually have a theory on that maniac. I think he was insecure as a trust fund kid. His family was rich, but he was a failure. I've met a lot of kids like that. Exactly, Maddie. He did great in school, but then he fizzled out. He couldn't get any traction in the business world. He was a loser. So listen, it's a big concept in the world that I'm in. There's a lot of people that they come from famous family, overachieving, they're doing great, and then the real world hits them in the head. And they don't do so great. And then they look at their family and they say, why am I not rich? My family's rich. I grew up in luxury, but I don't have any money. My startup failed. My career looks dismal. I think so, Ksłyn. His career looked very dismal. I think he was very depressed. I mean, I like short-term options, but all I do is lose money on them. This is a micro-cap Hong Kong company. Yeah, careful. I look at phase 1, preclinical. I like Palantir in the short term. Most micro-caps don't have huge potential, unfortunately. McKinsey guys can be okay. They can be terrible. Depends. You know, founder-led companies are always the best, but some of these big old companies obviously can't be founder-led. A lot of those CEOs represent, or resemble, I should say, politicians more than they resemble CEOs. I got at a salvo like 350. Not that many pod shops blow up. That's kind of the point. Citadel and so forth. Do you mean a guy who blows up at a pod shop? Depends on how bad it got, I guess. Yeah, it depends on how it happened, how bad it got. Sometimes they leave the industry. Sometimes they surface as an analyst, go back to being an analyst instead of a PM. Some of those guys start hedge funds. Sometimes, Pedro, I'll throw in some money in some startup, but typically do not. Oh, Wang is done. Wang got sentenced and everything. Sometimes, Bruce. I'd say even most of the time, but every now and then you get a nice win. Like Cassava was a good example. Leverage, Henry, leverage. And he sort of pumped the stocks to kind of impossible levels, I'd say. I don't read nearly enough anymore, Mr. Porkchop. QFT and public markets? I don't think there's much of a connection. Maybe more like Brownian motion. Okay, a lot of press releases. Nothing in our space. Tech sales or investment banking? It really depends on who you are, you know. If you're there's like 10 or 20 things you'd have to look at to decide which one is better. Do not buy AMC. Sales is a great profession, absolutely. Now, every CEO has to do sales. Sales, very important, man. Very important. You just got to know your worth, and you got to be well-rounded. A lot of sales guys, they just know how to close, and that's it. You got to be more than just that. Sales with the brain. No, I don't miss being the CEO. I don't talk about who I talk to or not talk to. I don't like Anavex. I think Anavex is a short. There's no rule of thumb. These all happen to be shorts, except for GameStop, which I don't really care about. But there's, like, this one's a short too. So, like, okay. So the bottom ones are shorts, and these are longs or possible longs, I'll put it that way. DJT just has no cash flow, no business, and most important catalyst that people don't understand is 4 years is actually pretty quick. In 4 years, Truth Social won't exist. It depends, Kyle. I think that in a vacuum, that's right, but that's not exactly what the proposal is. I would say there'd be capped usage based. So it would not be like you get charged by the minute. It's more like if you want to spin up a neural network, a financial neural network, we're going to charge you more for that because it costs us a lot to make that. Bloomberg doesn't even have advanced tools. You don't even have that option. Yeah, LSTMs, all kinds of different neural networks. I mean, software. Maybe. Huma there is no Huma news. Everyone's just waiting for the valproic acid. Is that inhaled? Yeah, if Truth Social can't even take the president's momentum and turn it into a business, what are they going to do when the president's not the president anymore? Eventually, it's only got 4 years, 16 quarters. You got to get revenue up a lot.
What's up, Grado?
Even 100 million in revenue per quarter would not be enough to even remotely break even. We know this. They don't have the network effects. We know that. That's why it won't succeed. He could get favors, but he can't get that many favors. Favors are hard to get. $6 billion favors, not a favor. Only 1 week of launch. I didn't see the Amazon partnership with Intel. I wonder what that looks like. Walgreens and CVS are in such bad shape. Buying their data may not be that bad. It may not be that hard. If insurance approved every procedure, the premiums would go up 10x. Sorry, I'm just so focused on these biotechs coming up here in the next couple days. So I have to plead confidentiality here because I have some complex positions I'm still doing, but you get the drift. I've laid my cards down. You can imagine what my strat is. These are all my shorts on the bottom here. The problem is I want to parlay each one into the next one, and I don't know what order it's going to be. Well, I just told you that I have some sensitive positions I'm putting on. I don't want to. Well, I want to show you guys one thing on Godel that's really cool. So on Yahoo Finance, let's say I wanted to look up. Let me go to Merck. Let's say I wanted to look at Merck's historical financial prices. That's really not anything too complicated to ask, right? Like I just want to know what the historical prices were. And I want to download it. Merck, download simple financial prices. I get this. Godel, even in our free version, just type HP, got it here. Even got a better view, and this view is being upgraded. But this is a 52-week low, and you can get as many prices as you want. You can go back years, and you just hit the download button for Excel, and it's done. HP means historical price, correct. Subversion can do a bunch of things, and it'll do more things, but the point is, Yahoo Finance is getting more and more crippled. And they still show ads. It's like ridiculous. We don't show any ads, and you could do that for free on our platform. So you're just going to see over and over again that kind of attitude. You know, it's still early days for us, but I don't know why you would gatekeep historical prices. Like, what's the secret? Yahoo Finance doesn't have a quote monitor. Like, it's ancient software. There's no terminal. It's not component based. There's no chat. It's just a disaster in general. We have a mobile site. So our mobile site's actually pretty good if you just open it on your mobile browser. In terms of a native desktop and a native mobile, those will come at some point. Wow, CADL is now at 6. Yeah, soon, Alex, soon. We would hire a mobile engineer at this point. Our front end guy kind of doubles down. We would hire like a mobile app engineer. This software is not meant for people who are out of the office a lot. This is meant for traders and analysts who are doing hardcore financial research every day. No HUMA updates. We had a funny interaction earlier with their CEO, but yeah, I mean, look, normies can use other platforms. This is meant for people who are trading hundreds of thousands of dollars at the very least. Bloomberg's $2,500. It's a premium product. That's kind of who we're going after. Now, we do want to make it better than Yahoo Finance, which, as I pointed out there, just on the downloading historical prices, they gatekeep that, which is ridiculous. I don't really think price controls or anything like that changes anything. I mean, I do think that the only thing to talk about is, like I said, the physicians have gigantic salaries. And again, I have a lot of friends who are physicians, but it really shouldn't be a job that you get to become rich. And I think that's changing a bit. A lot of the people who are going into medicine now are doing it for what I would say are the right reasons. DJT doesn't have huge fees. Just give me, Intel is boring, but people want me to learn it, and I'm going to learn it. I think you're going to see companies own some Bitcoin, but I don't know if that's going to help the price of Bitcoin. Everyone gets a 1-month free trial. First month's always free. Still looking at Intel. I like Intel. I just have to learn the space to really have confidence in it. Confidence is hard to come by. Funny how Intel was the biggest semiconductor company. Now it's like not even top 10. Godel was the name of a mathematician who was also Einstein's best friend. They were besties, like Jason Calacanis and, I don't know, one of the guys that pretends to like Jason Calacanis. No, not looking at any Australian bios. I'm just reading every Intel patent until I know what I'm up to, know what I'm doing. Device to device link training. Yeah, core stuff, where they're going. They don't disclose their future, but the patents sort of do disclose the future, which is neat. Kind of looked expensive to me, but not a short. I'm going to look at AMD in a second because I have to look at Intel. So the two go together quite a bit. AMD does their thing on the server side. Oh yeah, the CMV date is coming, right? I saw the bromance. Yeah, Google's announcement's pretty big. I just saw the AI biotech fund targets 100 million. This thing? Australian one? Wow. We're really going to get to December 9th with 6 biotech events, more actually. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right on my screen, and then 2 or 3 I don't even have on my screen, like, which ones? ANAB and Biomea. So there's 7 coming out by year end. Actually, with Moderna, that's 8. What else is coming by year end? A couple more I'm missing. Oh yeah, Omeros. Forgot about OMER. Q2TB, Corvus. Forgot about those. Yeah, I like Moderna. I haven't looked at ANAB, but they have a lot of cash. I am short CADL. It doesn't mean you can't short it.